Hello everyone, welcome to another video from our accounting and finance lecture series. Today we are going to study about irrecoverable debts and allowances for receivable, how to do the accounting treatment for allowances for irrecoverable debts, and hope you will enjoy the video.
Like when you get into the business, okay, mostly the business will have a time limit for the payment, right? So usually they will try to sell the customers on credit. Why they will sell customers on credit? Because just as a marketing technique, they will make sure that customers are getting committed to with your business, and then you can recover the money, right? That is one of the marketing technique, okay? So what are the benefit of provision? Why you have to make the provision? Okay, what is provisions? The majority of business will sell to their customers on credit. State a defined time within which they must pay. Okay, credit period. I was talking about this actually. What is this credit period? What is credit rating and all those things I was talking about with you guys. 30 days or 60 days. Okay, 60 days. 90 days depends on the customer bargaining power. You'll give the credit. Okay, this credit period. Okay, credit period will be decided by credit department. Okay, credit department, they will decide whether to give credit or not and how much to give the credit and all those things they will decide. Okay, so that is something you have to know about when you work as a kind of payable accountant. There are different positions: payable accountant, receivable accountant. You have to follow up with your customer. So all those things you may need. So you need to know all this credit period and all those things, the definitions. Okay, not definition, like you have to know like what categories of the customers will have what kind of credit period. Accordingly, you can follow it up. You can negotiate. You can sell. You can give the marketing department, and you can give approval related to the customers whether you are going to get into the supply or not, and all those things you may have to do. Those are like real life practical things you have to know about. Okay. What are the benefits of providing a credit facility? These are the benefits. Okay, benefits of providing credit facility that will help to get into new market. Other thing is to increase the sales. Okay, other thing is customer loyalty may be encouraged. Okay, that means the customers know if I like go to this company or this shop, I will be able to buy my things even if I don't have certain amount of money. Okay. What is the cost related to giving a credit period to customers? Okay, one is you will have a cash flow problem. Okay, so you will have an issue with the cash flow because you will not be able to collect the money as per your time, okay, as per your budget, because sometimes the customers will not be able to meet the target or they will not be able to pay. That is usual thing. That's why when you go for the mortgage, okay, mortgage or or hire purchase, sometimes they will possess your assets, right? They will possess your assets, right? Your asset. The reason is you are unable to pay the money. Talk about it when it's come to irrecoverable debt. How are we going to do the accounting for that? What is credit limit? I actually talk about this credit limit. One of the simple example I can talk about for the credit limit is credit card, right? It is also normal for business to set a credit limit for each customer. This is the maximum amount of credit that the business is willing to provide. Okay, the rest of the money sometimes the company will ask you to pay then and there. Okay, the use of credit limits may be what could be the reason? This is the reason. Okay, may reduce risk of business of irrecoverable debt. Like if you give full credit, what happens? You will not be able to recover the money. If you have a limit, say for example, for some asset is costing 100,000 QR Qatar riyal. So like if you give the customer 50,000, then the customer will pay like the rest of the 50,000 in advance, or like once he purchase, he will be paying that 50,000 and getting the asset, and he will pay the rest of the money later. Okay, that through that 50,000 you will be able to even sometime will be able to cover your cost. Okay, so that is one of the strategy. Okay, like help build up a trust of new customer. That means like if there is a possibility even you will be able to give the customers full credit. Okay, but if it is a new customer, then better you give some percentage of the credit, so that over a period of time you will be able to assess the customer whether the customer is making any default. You can use it as part of the credit control strategy. Okay, now we'll come back to, so I have given about what is credit limit, what is cost of having a provision for credit facilities. Now I have given detail for the like what is trade receivable. Now let's get back to what is non-payment of debts. When a company goes as bankrupt, one of your customer goes on as bankrupt, then in that case they will not be able to make the payment which is owed to you. During the year, some debts will become uncollectible and will written off at that time. Okay, written off means what? Removing the amount from the trade receivable account and charging it as an expense against profit and loss. Okay, irrecoverable debt, the customer has gone bankrupt. That is one of the possibility. Another one is the customer is out of business. That is also again bankrupt, right? Dishonest may be involved. That means somebody is maybe trying to cheat you. Then in that case, you may have to go for a legal litigation, right, to collect your money. And outright refusal to pay. They can say that no, we will not be able to pay you. Okay, they can become contradicted with you. Okay, disappearance of customer. Okay, and death of customer. All these are some of the general reason why the bad debts become irrecoverable. In these cases, as an accountant, how you have to deal with it. Okay, those are the things you have to know. Okay, what is the double entry for the irrecoverable debt? So like the accounting entry to remove the non-irrecoverable. Okay, irrecoverable debt is an expense. Okay, so I gave you fundamental principle, double entry principle. This, remember this. Okay, always asset and expenses are debit balances. Okay, debit balances. Income and liabilities are credit balances. Okay, here, so bad debt is an expense, right? Bad debt is an expense, so it has to be under the debit. It's an expense, right? It is an expense. This is the basic principle you have to keep in mind. Every transaction has two-way effect, right? Every effect has another knock-on effect. Okay, we have to reduce it from somewhere, right? So that is related receivable. What we are going to do is, we are going to reduce your asset. We will do an example. So receivable control account, as per this questions, the receivable balance is 44,000, irrecoverable debt is 6,000. So we have opened a receivable control account and irrecoverable debt expense account, and we have put the corresponding entry 6,000 for the receivable control account, and that amount will go as an expenses to the P&L. And we have closed down this carried down balance 38,000 to close this account. Okay, both are balancing. Okay, 44. So there is something called prudent concept. Okay, procedure for calculating the allowance. How will you do the calculation for the allowance? What is the allowance? Okay, these are the basic computation. What I am going to do is the general idea how you are going to use the allowances or calculation of the allowance. Okay, you have to take all kind of risk. Okay, all kind of risk. This is expense in the statement, profit and loss account, credit side of the entry, which is created allowances for receivable. Okay, closing balance of allowance is subtracted from the closing balance of receivable. Create new account. How it's going to be when you have already irrecoverable or allowances or provision for debtors allowances, how you are going to treat it. Okay, you have to take the difference. Okay, allowance already exists, there is a decrease in its amount, the difference is debited to the allowance account and credit to the irrecoverable debt expenses. Okay, this decrease expense amount to be recognized in the statement of profit and loss account. And I will give you the double entry for the increase and decrease. For both, I will give you the double entry. The accounting treatment to create a new allowances or to increase an existing allowances is debit irrecoverable debt expense and credit allowance for doubtful debts. Okay. What the P&L? This is the effect of statement of financial position. This is on the opposite side, okay? About types of allowances or type of doubtful debts or provision you can make. There is two type of provisioning you can make, okay? One is specific allowance, other one is the general allowance, okay? Specific allowance. These will be some specific debts where receivable is known to be a financial difficulty. Therefore, the amount owing from the receivable may not be recovered. The allowance to be made against such as receivable known as specific allowance. This is total customer balance, either full or part of the amount. Okay. What is our formula? Total allowances is specific allowance plus general allowance, right? Example. The answer is 714, I think. 714, okay? Okay. What is the total allowance? Here I put it as a total allowance. Total allowance. Specific allowance is how much? 500, right? 500 plus 11,200 minus how much? 500 into 0.02. I think so. Are you getting the right answers? 714. These are the things you have to keep it in mind. The balance on allowance for doubtful debts account is netted off against the balance on the accounts receivable account when preparing the statement of financial position, okay? You can keep that in mind. The allowance for doubtful debt is period and adjustment. Okay, balance on the allowance account can increase or decrease from the year to year. General allowance percentage is usually applied on the receivable figure after deducting specific allowance. Okay, after deducting specific allowance. Okay, these things keep a note on it. Okay, note. These are the steps you have to follow to compute. Okay. So we did few double entries. I will delete this. Just to recall, I can give you what is age analysis, okay? Age analysis. Then I just wanted you to do like basic sum to compute the provision based on the age analysis. 50%. 3 to 6 months, 25%. 1 to 3 months, 5%. 5% and 10 or like less than 1 month 3%. The amount has to be 3,600. Okay. Yes. So that's the answer for age analysis. I'm sure. Okay. So this is one of the way for you to calculate, but mostly recommended way is different. You may have to use mathematical formulas, assumption, and consideration of this all the economic inflation, economic conditions, and also other risk factor and everything you have to bring, and you have to calculate it. There is something called default rate, and you have to apply that and get it. Okay, this is for general understanding. I am giving you this rate. Okay, this used to be the practice long time back, but now the practice is as per the IFRS 13 or like IFRS 9 and other ESS guidelines. Okay, that's how you do it, but you have to know how to do the computation. This is what I gave you. Okay, so today we were talking about lot of double entries. Like I just wanted to give you the summary of the irrecoverable debts expenses. Okay, irrecoverable debt expense account. Okay, T account, because we studied few double entries today. I just wanted you to write down this, and I wanted to give you maybe homework.
Finally, I would like to summarize the irrecoverable debt expense account, and you can open a T account named as irrecoverable debt expense or receivable expense account, and on your debit side you can put trade receivable and irrecoverable debts written off, an increase in allowance when you make the provision. On your credit side, when you receive a money for the debts which was already written off, you can put it on your credit side, which is irrecoverable debts recovered, and decrease in allowance you will have to write it on your credit side, and you can close your T accounts. This is very important summary from today's session. Hope you will understand and use this summary for you to do the homework which is given and shown on the screen. Now it's time for you to put all what you learned into practice and do an exercise. As per the example shown on the screen, receivable as at 31st July 2017 is $46,000, and provision for doubtful debts at 31st July 2016 is 2,400. On reviewing the receivable account, it was found that an irrecoverable debt of $1,900 has not been written off, and the recovery of a debt of $560 previously written off had not yet been entered in the book. The company wishes to make a provision of 5% at the year end. The question is, what is the net charge to the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st July 2017 in respect of receivables? For you to cross check, I would like to give you the answer. The answer is $1,145. Hope you enjoy the video, and I'm sure this video will be useful for you to prepare for your exam and do well in your working life. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoy the video. I'll say goodbye till I see you in my next video. Please share and subscribe VoiceOver channel